This is the Backlog Exposed podcast, bringing you weekly discussions on gaming, as well as quick insights into sports, entertainment, and anything else that we can think of. To get in touch with us, ask questions, or just hang out and chat, join us in the Backlog Exposed Discord. Follow us on Twitter at @TheBacklogPod, or send us an email at thebacklogexposed@gmail.com. You can find all of our social media information, as well as many different ways to listen to our podcast by visiting our website, thebacklogexposed.com.
I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And we are
The Backlog
Exposed. All right, man, let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 14 of the Backlog Exposed. I'm your host Kevin, and along with me is, as always, Master, Sergeant, Sniper, Lieutenant, Commander.
Oh, they might just keep getting names added. What's going on, everybody?
Oh man, so here we are, September 7th. We're already in the latter half of 2018, and today's a special day. It's a special day because we have none other than Spider-Man itself releasing today. We have first impressions, and I think they're pretty good. I'm just going to kind of hint at that. We'll get into that pretty heavily today. But primarily, today's episode is going to be a short and sweet one. We're just checking in on you this weekend, giving you something to listen to over the weekend so that we can hit you hard at the beginning of next week so that we can drive home some more details about this Spider-Man. We got a couple of other updates as well. So, Joe, you want to lead us into this game? You want to tell us what it's all about?
Man,
Who is Spider-Man? Who is Spider? Like, what is this?
I don't know who he is. I've never heard of that guy. I just happen to like the way the graphics look on the game. Nah, man, but so I woke up this morning, took the kids to school, and decided to jump into some Spider-Man. I know my son's excited, my daughter's excited when they get home from school, but I couldn't wait, so I had to jump into it. Right out the gate, man, graphics are awesome. The free roam of the city, that's like one of my favorites. You have all these side quests that pop up. You don't have to do them, but it's fun to go do it. Like once you get into the game about an hour, you start to unlock towers for the police, and you get to hack into the police scanners, and you get to see the crimes going on in the city. And with every tower you open up or you unlock, it also tells you where certain aspects of the game are, certain little secret areas. Like for me,
well, not to cut you off, but I was watching you play this on your Twitch stream. That's twitch.tv/Teamy Gaming, right? Or
yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Teamy Gaming. Yep.
Yeah, you guys got to follow him when he's funny as hell when he's streaming. So, but one of the things I noticed that I really, really loved about this game was it reminded me so much of Assassin's Creed.
Oh, get out of here with that Assassin's Creed shit, man. No one wants to play that game.
I think it's only $20 right now in the store if you want to buy it.
Don't buy it. It's garbage. No, I'm just kidding. It's all right, I guess, if you like repetitive-ass games. But no, he's always giving me a hard time about this Assassin's Creed. I hate that game. Or poke myself in the eye with a pencil.
Or a screwdriver or a wrench.
Yeah, or a pair of pliers if I'm trying to fix a washer and dryer. No big deal. The cool thing about it is the city is all I'll give you an example. If you've ever played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch, you'll understand what I mean by the map is blank. You have to go find the towers to unlock each section of the map. Same thing here. You have to go help the police get back the towers they've lost. And once you do that, it opens up different sections of the city. And, first thing I did, I went to the trophy list, and I wanted to check out the trophies because I don't want to start a game like I did, when God of War came out, and it talked about you had to beat the game in a certain difficulty and stuff like that. So I went through and made sure, and it was pretty good. It wasn't too bad.
That's pretty cool. I was looking at the game style itself, and I really can't wait to get in there. I ended up pre-ordering it late last night. You talked me into it, and I had it downloaded. It said it was going to take like 60-something hours to download. By the time I woke up, it was there. So once I'm ready to go.
I mean, I don't want to give too much away, honestly, man, because I want people to get in there and play it because it's day one. I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, there's, the backpacks are this and this is there. I mean, I give you an update on, like, the playability of it, man. It's awesome.
That's exactly, yeah, I think that's what we should let them know about today.
The
like,
fighting,
should they go out and buy this game?
The fighting is good. All the combos you use between your web slinger and different aspects that you can unlock through your suit. There's mods you can put on your suit, which is badass. You can do more damage. You can hold up to 3 mods at a time. If you pre-ordered like I did, you're able to get additional suits right out of the gate. The one I'm running with is the iron. It's called the Iron Spider suit, and it's got iron arms, just like the one.
So you figured out how to enable them?
Yeah, for some reason I'll tell you what happened. So if you're listening right now and you're pre-ordering it, you won't get your suits or your downloadable content until you have to go back to Oscorp and repair the first suit. So you start out with your plain suit, you rip it all to hell, and then you go repair it, and that's when your suits unlock. So that's when I got all my suits, and then about 5 minutes later, you get to enable your gadgets, and that's when you get that gadget that you pre-ordered for. So that's something that I didn't know nothing about.
Do they actually do anything different, or is it just cosmetic?
No, they actually, some of them's cosmetic. I mean, if you look at the suit, well, you can't look at the suits, but each suit has a special ability to it. So it's like this one has battle focus, gives you your health back whenever you use it. Web blossom, sound of silence makes you more secret or silent, I should say, when you go around. They're pretty cool, man. They're pretty badass, the suits, the way they look, though. Your suit power is what I was talking about when it comes to the actual the arms that I'm using. Like if you noticed, the one I'm using is the one he had in the Avengers Infinity War when he jumped down with those 4 arms on his back. That's the one I'm using.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
And you use it in the middle of a fight, dude, and it fucking wrecks people. So but it's hard though. I mean, you don't just fight 2 or 3 people at a time. You're fighting 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, and they got different weapons. They got knives, they got crowbars, they got machine guns, and just like in any other game, it gives you a warning. You'll see like a white glow around his head. That means someone's about to hit you. And then a red glow means you're about to get shot. But I don't know, man. It's fun, dude. I'm ready to play right now. I mean, it's so fun.
One of the things I noticed in the game, and it's very apparent in a lot of the Spider-Man games, but was the not just free roam, but you were getting anywhere and everywhere instantly. And the fact that you were swinging throughout the city trying to, follow that car, and then you attached yourself to a building, and then you just ran up the side of the building like a maniac.
Yep.
Like just running straight up. And then you grappled, or, web slung some more, pulled yourself up. It looked like a commercial. It didn't look like you playing the game.
It's phenomenal, man. It really is. They did it on this game when it comes to the graphics, how smooth it is, the way it feels. They really put their time and effort in on this one. But the one you were talking about, I was chasing that car. That's when you unlock police scanners, and they had robbed a bank or whatever, and you have to get within, I think, 40 meters of the car. Then you attach stuff to the car, and you have to fight them out of the car.
That was crazy.
It's fun, man. I've only played like 3 missions, but I've been playing for probably 4 hours because I've been doing the one that I got at the very beginning is to help the cops get the Oscorp satellites back so they can see the city. Someone hacked into them and took them all down. So that's your first main objective. You don't have to go through that. You can do other missions. Yeah, man, you just sling all over Manhattan, dude, and start unlocking these towers. And every time you do that, it unlocks where the backpacks are. Then it unlocks where all the landmarks are that you have to take pictures of. So everything just...
Hey, Joe, we lost your audio there for just a second, but I think you're back now. Joe, you sound like $1 million.
I wish I had $1 million, Kevin.
I wish I did too, because I'd have a fucking doctor come to my house and take care of me. I'm sick as a dog right now. On the tail end of it, but I want to get in and play some VR. I want to get in and play some Spider-Man. I'm burning up, and I'm working my way through the Detroit Become Human game, trying to finish it off so I can do a final review. I do have an updated review coming for that game. I think I gave it an 85 last week, and definitely an update to it. And we're not segueing off of Spider-Man. We still got a little bit more to talk about there, but I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. Joe and I, we're on the side here working really hard to come up with a format and a game plan for our game reviews. We don't want to be like everyone else, because you could go Google game and say game review this, game review that. We're gamer dads, legit. We have things to do.
Yeah, man, we have too much stuff to do. I'm working 10 hours a day. You're working 10 hours a day. I can't be writing a novel, man, on a game. I'm going to give you the meat and potatoes. And
when I'm reading a game review, I don't want to read a book. I just want to know, is it worth it or not? What's it about?
Yep.
What am I going to be getting out of this game? So That's what we're going to deliver. We're going to deliver most of the games we play are going to have an initial review. And that's like, if you, like right now, if Joe wanted to write a review on Spider-Man, he's played enough of it to be able to review it, let you know should you buy it or not. And that's what we're going to do, initial reviews. And then in that review, we're going to tell you if we're going to play it all the way through or not.
Yep.
Or if we're going to put it in the backlog and play it later. So if it's in the backlog, if it's good enough to keep playing, we'll give it a review score that lands it there. If it's so good that it's top of the line, and that's the next game we're playing until it's done, you'll know that too. And then once we're done a game, or when we're finished playing with it, we're going to give a full review. So by finished playing with it doesn't mean completion. If a game sucks so bad that we have no desire to go back into it, that's the final review coming up. We're also going to go and review backlog games. I'm going to look at games I've played. I've actually cataloged every game I've played since I bought the PlayStation 4. And that includes PC games, Xbox games. So games that I've played in the past I'll review as well. But they're going to be simple. They're going to be, should you go back and play this game? Should you add it to your backlog? And that being said, Joe, what's your initial thoughts? I mean, I think we know, but what's your initial thoughts on Spider-Man? And what should we do with this game? Should we buy it? Should we add it to the backlog? Should we, wait for a sale?
I would definitely buy it. There's no need to wait for a sale, man. I've bought a lot of games in the past. I bought God of War. I'm a huge God of War fan. That was worth $60 to me. The Spider-Man game is well worth its money. So far, within the last 4 hours of gameplay, I can definitely say it's a very good buy. I wouldn't necessarily say you need to wait for a sale because I think the game's worth $60. It really is. The gameplay's
Nice.
fun. The graphics are great. The color's good. The story's actually pretty cool. The way you go from scene to scene, that's pretty cool. I know you're a huge stickler on video games and mouth movement, dude. This one is phenomenal. Yeah, it looks pretty damn good.
I am. I don't know why, but I am. It breaks immersion.
This one's really good, man. This one does just about as good as it can get. And I don't know, man. I just really like it. I just like the free play of it. Like there's structure to it, but you don't have to go by the structure. Like for instance, for me, you don't have to go find all the backpacks or the landmarks. But with that being said, the more backpacks you find, the more landmarks you find, and the more crime you solve, or I should say solve, but the more crime you get rid of, you get tokens. And you need those tokens to upgrade your abilities. So you level up and you get level up coins to get moves and stuff like that. But in order to upgrade your abilities or your modifications for your suit, you need landmarks, backpacks, and crime. So it's kind of do you run through the game and then get what you can as you're going along, or do you figure it out? For me, I like getting the backpacks and the landmarks because it's fun. You get to fly around the city, see everything, do crimes on the way, solving the crimes.
And the city feels huge, right?
Oh, the city's massive, man. Like I've been playing for, like I said, 4 hours, and I've been pretty hard at it, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections of the city still left to unlock. I've already unlocked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've unlocked 5 sections of the city, so 5 of the 11. But I haven't really been chasing the towers right now. I've been doing the landmarks and stuff like that, trying to get all that up to speed. So, but as an initial review, I would definitely say go buy it. And I could get into more details, but I want to run the game for everybody right now because it's day one. But what I've given you gives you a pretty much idea. A lot of button combos, which is kind of hard to get used to. I mean, your moves list is massive. I mean, you have moves when you're in the air. You have moves when you're on the ground. You have moves when the enemy's in the air. I mean, it's a lot to remember. But the fighting style is so fun, man. So fun.
That's awesome. I was reading here on the How Long to Beat, and it looks like it's about 20 hours or so, and I'm sure that can expand if you're a side quest type person or not. So definitely something to look forward to, something to fill the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. As of right now, I have 31 moves unlocked, 31 different moves. So it's
wow.
Yeah, it's hard to get everything figured out.
Is there a multiplayer aspect to this game at all, or is it just a first player or a single player?
It's
game?
just for right now. I've seen it's just a single player, and I think it's only going to be single player. But like Adam, when he gets on later tonight, he's going to play, and we're just going to be in chat talking and playing. I mean, you know what I mean? That's how we usually did, like Stardew Valley.
Yep.
We did the same thing. Yeah. But
so on a scale of 1 to 5, how good is it against Stardew Valley? Does this?
Oh, it destroys Stardew Valley, man. Come on, it's not even the same game. Nowhere near it. But I would say on a scale of, I don't like the 1 to 5 scale. I like to, go to 100.
Yeah.
I'd give it an easy 90 right now. Easy. And that's just, 3-4 hours in it. But I can already tell that it may only be a 20-hour game, but I'm telling you right now, to platinum this is going to take more than 20 hours. There's quite a bit of stuff. I mean, just finding the backpacks and the landmarks alone, that's a lot. That's a lot to do. I haven't even really looked at the trophy list too much after I started. I was just making sure there wasn't a harder difficulty, because there's 3 different difficulties you can do. But first of all, one of them you have to unlock all districts. Obviously, that's going to be something you do throughout the game anyway. You have to do that. So, But I think a lot of these trophies though are just playthrough and you get your stuff done.
Hey, not to interrupt you, buddy, but those are some sick ass looking headphones you got there. What are those?
Oh, these are my Lucid Sound, man. I only rock Lucid Sound. LucidSound.com.
Those are the new ones?
Yeah, these are the new ones. They're pretty badass. LucidSound.com, promo code Team EMAR. Save yourself 20%. I
like that. That's worth it in my book. Hey, so while we're on the subject of talking about things that rock, I actually have a couple of cool bits of information here. So recently, we have reached out to several organizations, several gaming companies to talk a little bit about their games and potentially get review copies. We're getting into that as we're going to be reviewing a lot more. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by the company Tribe Toy. Tribe Toy created the new game for PlayStation VR called Bow to Blood. This is a really, really interesting looking game that has a lot of different aspects to it that I don't know if watching it or just reading a review or two about it will do it justice. So I wanted to give it a try so that I could experience it firsthand within the VR world. Tribe Toy was very, very pleasantly able to provide a key for us. So I'm going to be playing that game over the next couple of weeks and going to provide a full review of that game. Again, I'll do that initial review to let you know, hey, should you go buy this or not? But it's been getting really good reviews across the board, and it's something that looks like it would interest me. So I really am looking forward to diving in there. On top of that, we have received a couple of review codes from Ilion. That's a development company that unfortunately no longer, I don't think Ilion exists, or if it does, it's in a smaller capacity. Basically, there's a game called Preda Vendetta Rising. It's a VR game that exists on the PC VR as well as the PlayStation VR. And we'll be reviewing this one on the PlayStation VR as well. But some background on this. Basically, the development team was very, very small. And they had this vision of a game that not only looked amazing, but played amazing. They wanted a long, a lot of games that come out for VR are 4 to 6 hours. So they wanted a game that was 20 to 50 hours. They wanted to provide a game that was actually going to have you sit and play for a while. Unfortunately, the initial reviews came out and the game was very grindy, and a lot of people just kind of shit on it at first. So the company itself their sales did not reach where they needed it to be to really sustain growth in their company. The game looks beautiful from what I've seen, and I've seen mixed reviews. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what you feel about grindy or not, and how you feel about playstyles. So Ben from Ilion has graciously provided us a couple of review codes, and once we get it working and we test it out, we're going to do a giveaway here on the show. So Joe and I will come up with something that will allow you to, find a way to get a copy of this game for PlayStation VR. We really look forward to whatever we're going to do there, but we're going to give it a try first before we give it away. So, stay tuned for that. Probably next week or the week after, we'll be able to do that. And the company still exists.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the company still exists in itself. That the same developers are all working together, but they're now working for a German patch company, and so they're still working in VR, but not able to work on their game. This was a passion project for them, so I really hope that some of that passion comes through when I play it, and I'll review it accordingly. The game is still priced, I think, $20 on the store, so it's not like it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to buy it and try it. So we'll give you a true and honest review of it once we get a chance to play it. So hopefully this gets Joe to buy a PlayStation VR.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. But while we're on the whole topic of gaming and all our codes and all that, I contacted Nintendo, and they contacted me back as well and said that I gave them a list of like 4 or 5 family-oriented Nintendo Switch games, so me and the kids could actually do a review with those and a YouTube video review because that's what they want to do. So I figured we'd try and do that. I gave them 4 or 5 games, or asked them if I could get a game, or here's a list of games we would like to play to do a review on. Gave them our podcast site, our website, and then our YouTube channel. They took all that, and this lady named Kate, which I've worked with her in the past, she emailed me today and said that she would definitely try and get me those review codes, and she said also that she's going to put us in the Nintendo press release as well. So if all that goes, to plan, we will now be able to be in with Nintendo and get review codes with Nintendo as well, since both of us have a, obviously Nintendo Switch. But I figured that'd be pretty badass, and because all the Nintendo games really are family oriented. So the kid,
90% of them.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and one of the ones coming out that I can't wait for is Super Mario Party. That game is going to be epic, man. And of course, I asked for a review code for that. But I mean, it just, whatever they give me, I'm gonna be grateful for. And like Kevin was saying, when we do these reviews, we're not gonna lie. If the game sucks, I'm gonna tell you it sucks, because that's the whole point of having people like us do gaming reviews, for people like you to not waste your money. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, if I said, if I played Spider-Man for 4 hours and it just sucked, the fighting sucked and everything, I would tell you that don't get it. It sucks. Now, if you want to believe me or not, that's one thing, but we're definitely going to be 100% honest when it comes to gaming reviews. So you may like it, or you may buy the game and be like, oh, that game was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. Again, man, it's everybody's personal preference, but for the most part, I can enjoy and play damn near any game besides Assassin's Creed and have fun with it. So
that new one coming out looks awfully good.
I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. Why not? Just for you, Kevin.
Hey, maybe Ubisoft will, is it Ubisoft? Maybe they'll send us a review copy of it.
I've contacted Ubisoft as well, so they have my email and they have our details and stuff like that, and hopefully they'll be on board and give us a couple of review codes too. So,
well, stop talking trash about their games and maybe they'll give you a review code.
Hey man, I do it as I see it, bro.
I know. No, that's fair. It's absolutely fair. So, one other topic I wanted to bring up real quick before we start to wind down here is Xbox just came out with a new controller. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's the adaptive controller. And essentially, there's all sorts of peripherals that come along with it that you can plug in and kind of choose what peripheral communicates with what input setting. So you have the ability to make foot pedals and buttons and all sorts of things that will allow for the usability for any of the buttons that are on your on your controller. And Joe, I'm going to send you a link to this. I don't know if you've seen this.
No,
but
I haven't even seen it or heard of it. I'm not an Xbox guy, but that's actually interesting to put out.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat there. Now, the main purpose of this controller, from what I understand, is for disabled people and giving them the ability to play games at the same level that a lot of other gamers get to play at. And, we don't need to dive into Fortnite right now, but one of the things that really drives me nuts about Fortnite is the inability to map your controller how you want it.
Exactly.
And a lot of games, provide mapping and controls, and a lot of games don't. This is a very ingenious way for Xbox to step up and say, do it how you want it. I don't know if regular gamers will be able to utilize this in a benefit to them, if it's going to be better than a regular controller. I mean, I don't know what the possibilities are really, but it's a really cool way for even fully handicapped people to play. And, you see some of the, in the demo reel of it, you can bounce your head against a pad if that's all you got movement for. You can slap your elbow down. I mean, and I've seen some crazy, gameplay from people who are disabled, like one-hand controllers. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but people have modded controllers that are, say they don't have a right arm or something, and they can hit every button with their left hand.
See, that's awesome.
And
that's about time someone come out with some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this kind of stuff should be uniform. I mean, in every job I've had, I have to write documentation or this or that. It has to be uniform with people who are blind or deaf. I have to be able to, support all facets of people's disabilities. If you own a business, you have to have a ramp for people who are disabled, can't get up there.
Hey man, while we're talking about disabilities, I saw a guy on YouTube. He was I think he's an Army veteran. He lost his arm in Iraq. I think it was his left or right arm. I can't remember. He lost an arm, and he plays Fortnite with one hand on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Now, when I say he plays Fortnite, crazy. I'm talking about this guy's winning Fortnite, and he holds the controller almost sideways, or he holds the controller over the top, and he uses the
claw grip, right?
The palm of his right or his left thumb pad basically does movement, and then his pinky palm basically is how he moves his person, and then his fingers do the other buttons. I mean, it's impressive. Like, there's no way in hell I could do that. It took him 6 months, but again, now that this controller's coming out, it'll be more beneficial.
It's amazing what people can do when they're hit with this type of adversity. I've seen amazing things. I mean, obviously, you could shut down and you could, squander your whatever, fall on your sorrows, and rightfully so in certain circumstances for sure. But other people rise to the occasion. I mean, I see people who have their legs blown off running marathons, and I can't run a marathon. I have 2 damn good legs. So it really comes down to mental.
It's all mental, like you're saying. It's just 100% all mental.
And this controller here, I think, will allow for just unlimited amounts of potential for people who have disabilities or don't, who want to maximize their capabilities. I mean, we're all restricted. Since Nintendo came out, we've always held controllers a certain way and used our thumbs for certain things, and then they added more buttons and this and that. And I personally am starting to get annoyed with how far I have to reach. It's uncomfortable in certain situations because of how many, I feel like the controller innovation needs to get moved forward so that keyboard and mouse and controller are closer to the same type of a skill level. You can't be as good as a master on the keyboard because of the number of buttons and the locality of the buttons and the ease of getting to them. Your fingers can go up and down. I mean, I can write, I can type like 120 words per minute, or whatever it is. 120 is the speed I can go. And, your fingers can move faster in that linear format. I know there's plenty of people who can play on a controller and do phenomenal, do really, really good, but naturally you're limited to X number of buttons, and they don't give you the ability to remap what those buttons can do. I have a Steam controller, which it's the same structure. Let me grab it here and show you, Joe. So it's the same structure of a controller, but you see, you only have one joystick, right here. Then you have a capacitive, it's like a mouse pad, but this is your looking up, down, left, right, and just like the right stick, but it's based on touch. And then same with the up, down, left, right of your D-pad is based on touch. You can program every button on this controller to do a different action based off of how hard you press, based off of how long you press, based on if you double tap it or not. So if I want to make double tap triangle, switch to my harvesting tool, or hold down switches to whatever, you can do that. And so then it even has these buttons back here underneath. So this is basically a keyboard in the form of a controller. Getting used to it is difficult because I'm used to playing on a PlayStation controller or an Xbox. It's closer to an Xbox controller. But anyways, that being said, I really think it's awesome to see Xbox and some of these other companies jump into moving forward with controller progression. Let's see. I know we got to start wrapping it up here. If you haven't caught our latest episodes, I've been able to make some guest appearances on playpsvr.com and PSVR Life episode 88. Both episodes are live, so go and listen to them. They were fun as hell to do. And Joe and I look forward to doing a heck of a lot more of that, getting out there, sharing the word of our podcast. We got business cards, so if you're near us and you know us, ask us for some. We'll hand them to you so you can give them out to friends and family or whatever. Let people know about the backlogexposed.com. Check us out on our podcast site, anchor.fm/thebacklogexposed. Check us out on, what else we got? Discord.
You got our Twitter. I mean, you got everything, man. I mean, if you go to our website, honestly, it's the easiest. I mean, I know we always say, go check out all of our Discords and all that stuff, but if you just go to the backlogexposed.com, Kevin did a really good job. Him and his buddy did the design, and website looks awesome. I would definitely check it out because it gives pretty much all the information where you can contact us. But
yeah,
this is a short podcast, but I just wanted to get out there because I know Spider-Man just came out today and people are kind of in the air about it. Hopefully you guys are out there listening. Take my word for it. You won't be upset if you get it. So
nice.
And I want to say thanks for listening. I know we since we've switched over to Anchor, we've had much more success than where we were at before. I know we have how many downloads we've had right now, Kevin, total?
We're at several hundred now, and we were also distributed on 3 times as many platforms as we were before.
I mean, iTunes has us, Google Play has
pretty
us.
Much, but even the smaller ones like Podcast, Podbean, all these weird ones I've never heard of before, but somebody's heard of them. We're there, and I like to listen myself on player.fm.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool app. But any one of them that you like, we're getting a lot of feedback. We've actually had a couple of players reach out to us and ask to play with us. So we've jumped into a couple games of Fortnite with some of our listeners. That was a lot of fun. So if you want to do that, jump on our Discord or message us directly. Email us, thebacklogexposed@gmail.com. We'll jump in and play with you. It's pretty fun getting to play with listeners because they ask you questions and stuff, and they want to get their word in and tell us what to say on the podcast and stuff. So actually, the last one we did the other day, they were talking about Spider-Man. They're telling us, I don't know if we're going to get Spider-Man. I mean, I play Fortnite 24/7, blah, blah, blah. Well, stop playing some Fortnite. Jump into Spider-Man. Joe's got your back.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in tonight.
Spider-Man tonight, everybody and everybody jump on Spider-Man. Play it. It's going to be fun. I'm having a blast, and I'm going to get my kids from school here in about 10 minutes, and when I come back, we're all going to hop in the room and eat some cakes and candies and pies and just play Spider-Man all day.
That sounds like a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Joe, it's always a pleasure talking with you. Let's wrap it up so you can go get those kids and go play some more Spider-Man. I'm Kevin.
I'm Joe.
And this is
The Backlog
Exposed.
Have a good one, guys.